Namaskar, I'm Harpreet Kaur and I welcome you all to our live and interactive session. You're watching us on PME Vidya channel number 10 and also on our YouTube handle NCERT Official. This session is meant for the students of class 10 and the subject that we have taken up is chemistry. We're going to discuss chapter number 4 of your textbook, Carbon and its Compounds, and today specifically we will be talking about properties of carbon compounds part 3. We have already done 2 parts of this particular chapter. Today in part 3 we'll be discussing about the properties. I will reveal all the details, but before that take down our phone number, which is 8800440559. You can also write an email to us. tth.class10@cit.nic.in is the email ID. You can also send us your questions, suggestions on our YouTube handle NCERT Official. Through these ways, you can reach out to us. And now it's time for me to welcome my guest for today. We are joined by Dr. Rajesh K. Sharma. Sir, namaskar and a very warm welcome.
Namaskar. Thank you, ma'am.
And let me tell everybody that sir is a PhD and has qualified IIT GATE as well. He's PGT also, and he has more than 15 years of teaching experience. We both are accompanied by our Indian Sign Language interpreter, Miss Naina. Namaskar and a very warm welcome to you too. Now sir, today we are in part 3 of this particular topic. Before you actually go about part 3, I request you kindly update us or brief our viewers about what we have studied in part 1 and part 2.
The chapter is of 10th class science, that is carbon and its compounds, and in the previous classes we have discussed about introduction of carbon and its compounds, and we have taken also many examples and basic introduction of carbon compounds will be there. After that we have classified the compounds of carbons and taken different kind of examples, homologous series, hydrocarbons, in case of saturated hydrocarbons and unsaturated hydrocarbons already has been discussed, that is alkane, alkene and alkynes. Different examples, and there are step ups, the members, lower and higher member series also have been discussed in the previous classes.
Alright sir, and so today what we are going to discuss?
Today we are going to discuss about carbon and its compounds, properties of the carbon and compounds will be discussed in today's class.
Right sir. So sir, let's start with the presentation, and if you can allow me, I can ask the very first question, because
yes.
we are talking about properties. So sir, I want to understand what is the basic difference between physical and chemical properties, because when we use the word properties, then it means 2 types of properties. So
actually properties are categorized in 2 parts, that is physical properties and chemical properties. Whenever we talk about properties and certain kind of things are going to be there, if there is no change in the chemical composition, till then the property will remain physical property. Like that, heating, boiling, suppose I have this one is the plastic, and if I heat it, if I dissolve in the water and so many things are there, if the plastic remains plastic, then it will come in the property category of physical property only. Till then its chemical composition will not change. All the properties will remain physical properties.
Alright.
The formula or chemical composition will change, then we enter in the chemical property areas.
Okay. So you must have prepared a PPT regarding this only, so we can have a better understanding with the help of it.
Yes. So chemical properties of carbon compounds. A chemical property is a property that describes a substance ability to undergo a specific chemical change. Important chemical properties of our carbon compounds are, according to this, the first chemical property is goal, that is combustion. Actually combustion means burning, that means a reaction with oxygen or a reaction with air, the actually oxygen will be react with each other. Combustion means the burning of carbon or carbon containing compounds in the presence of air or oxygen to produce carbon dioxide, water and heat and light. We can say that alcohol burns in air to give carbon dioxide, water, vapors, heat and light. One of the example for this process is that ethyl alcohol CH3CH2OH will undergo the process of combustion, that will react with the oxygen and 2 molecules of CO2 and 3 molecules of water plus heat and light will obtain. In the same process, we can take more examples like that carbon burns in air or oxygen to give carbon dioxide, heat and light. So carbon react with oxygen to produce carbon dioxide, heat and light. Saturated hydrocarbons burns with a blue flame. in the presence of sufficiently supply of air or oxygen. Like that we can simple example methane. Oxidation of methane, whenever methane react with oxygen, that gives carbon dioxide, water, heat and light.
Right, sir. So, these are basically, we are talking about the combustible products.
Yes, yes.
And when we talk about these products, I'm sure there are certain features. So, what are those features?
Certain features means that whenever combustion reaction will take place, definitely there is a need of oxygen.
Okay.
If oxygen is not there, then any kind of combustion will not occur.
Oxygen, because it supports combustion.
Yes,
Okay.
supports combustion, oxidation process will be there. Any kind of fuel, whether it is petrol, diesel, kerosene oil or any gas like CNG, LPG gases are there,
Yes.
and in daily life we are using these gases. All undergo the process of combustion,
Okay.
and there is a need of oxygen rich air, so that combustion will take place completely and the waste product will be minimum by this process.
All right. Okay.
So, moving further, we can talk about flame characterization. It means that whenever any kind of fuel will burn,
Yes.
then there will be a generation of the flame.
Yes.
That depend on the quality of the fuel, which kind of fuel is there. So, we can identify by the flame characterization, the color of the flame will indicate whether the fuel is going to be in the complete burning process or not.
Okay.
So, saturated hydrocarbons will generally give a clean flame, while unsaturated carbon compounds will give a yellow flame.
Because we also generally see, because there is a blue flame, there is
Yeah,
a
yeah,
yellow
yes,
flame, and then
yes,
there is
yes.
a black spot
Yes,
also in the
yes.
middle.
Yeah, that
so
is
that
the-
describes how much the fuel is
Exactly.
burning. Okay.
If the fuel is going to be burned excellently, sufficiently, then the flame color will be blue.
Blue. Okay.
It means
It
that
means 100%
combustion
is
is there, and
Okay.
no pollutant, any kind of pollutant is being generated.
there. Okay.
That's why the CNG gas or the gas which is used in domestic purpose is the to be known as best fuel.
Best fuel.
Rather than wood or any other kind of fuel to be used, that will generate also smoke. In case of petrol or diesel, the fuels is there, but the combustion incomplete is there, because actually we have no any kind of engine that will give 100% efficiency.
Okay.
So that will can burn petrol 100%. There will be a wastage products. That's why burning of these will produce smoke in form of carbon dioxide and other gases.
That is why we are shifting to natural gases.
Yes, that's why we are going to shifting to natural gases, and we want some kind of green chemistry, eco-friendly environments. That's why we are looking for those fuels which are not going to create pollutants like this
Pollutants,
one.
and I think that is why also we are now moving towards electronic vehicles.
Yeah, electronic vehicles is there, and so we are just alternatively finding the sources.
Yes.
Because population going to be increased, industrialization going to be increased,
True.
and demands are going to be increased.
Yes.
So there will be a way how to save and protect the life for sustainable development of the future. There is
sure.
also a need. That's
Yes,
why
sir.
we are
Need
looking.
of the hour.
Yes, yes, yes. That's why we are looking such kind of these things. So flame characterizations, saturated hydrocarbons will generally give a clean flame, while unsaturated carbon compounds will give a yellow flame with a lot of black smoke. This results in a sooty deposit on the metal surface, limiting the supply of air, resulting in complete combustion of even saturated hydrocarbons, giving a sooty flame. If you observe the bottom of cooking vessels getting blackened, it means that the air holes are blocked and fuel is getting wasted.
Okay.
The gas, kerosene stove used at home has inlet for air, so that a sufficiently oxygen rich mixture is burned to give a clean blue flame. By this picture, we can observe that blue flame is going to be there. That indicates the combustion process is going to be efficiently, sufficiently, so the pollutant is not going to be generated. In case of blue flame, complete combustion is there. If the fuel is not burning completely, then flame color will change. So it is called flame characterization. Yellow will gives that somewhere else the fuel not going to be burned completely 100%.
And also you mentioned if the vessel is getting blackened.
Yeah, this is
even
also
then-
one of the indication. The vessel is going to be blackened, means blackened. It means that a waste product is being generated. Other gases are being produced that are depositing over the lower surface of the utensils, and means black color will be deposited over there.
Okay.
So in this series, if we talk about the next important chemical properties of carbon compounds, that is oxidation.
Okay.
Oxidation of ethanol in presence of oxidizing agents give ethanoic acid. Ethanoic acid is one of the acid of carboxylic acid series. Alkaline potassium permanganate or acidified potassium dichromate are oxidizing alcohols to acids. That is adding oxygen to the starting material. Hence, they are known as oxidizing agents.
Right. And so, can you give us two examples of these oxidizing agents?
Yeah, we can consider the examples of oxidizing agents like that. We have categories of oxidizing agents: strong oxidizing agents, mild oxidizing agents, and little bit kind of lower category oxidizing agents. In this example, you are looking on the screen, that is ethanol is going to be oxidized, and we are getting CH3COOH, that is acetic acid, also called vinegar. This oxidation will take place in presence of catalyst, that is called KMnO4, and in this process KMnO4 is acting as oxidizing agent, that is called potassium permanganate, alkaline KMnO4. If we do the oxidation, then the sufficiently oxidation of ethyl alcohol will be there, and we will get acetic acid in this process.
Right.
Now, we will talk about oxidizing agents. Some substances are capable of adding oxygen to others, are known as oxidizing agents. Examples: alkaline KMnO4, that is KMnO4 have been mixed with a base, and that is potassium hydroxide. We can also talk about acidified K2Cr2O7. Actually, the oxidizing agents, whenever mixed with the acid or base, then its efficiency, working efficiency, and the nature of the reactivity becomes more specific, and reactions become some kind of easiness. So, KMnO4 potassium permanganate and K2Cr2O7 potassium dichromate, both are examples of oxidizing agents.
Right.
And we want to add one more point, that is we talk about K2Cr2O7. This one is the strong oxidizing agents. It can oxidize in kind of so many chemical species or so many chemical reactions can be efficiently or effectively can be oxidized by potassium dichromate. Now, we talk about third chemical properties of carbon compounds, that is called addition reaction. Addition of dihydrogen like H2 with unsaturated hydrocarbon in presence of catalyst such as nickel, platinum or palladium, that is known as hydrogenation or addition reaction. It means that catalysts are substances that cause a reactions to occur or proceed at a different rate without itself being affected. Now, if we think about or we look about hydrogenation of ethene, ethene means ethylene. This process is exothermic. Whenever this kind of addition reaction will take place, then enthalpy of reaction change will be minus 136 kilojoule per mole.
Now, sir, with this term that you just took, exothermic, I think there are endothermic and exothermic
There are
reactions.
two processes.
There are two processes. So, what is the difference between the two?
Exothermic process, actually the process is going to be there, and extra amount of heat is being liberated after the completion of the process. That means exothermic. Exo means exit, out, heat to be out from the process. So, that is known as the exothermic process. And endothermic process, the process is not able to do itself. That is why we have to supply some kind of heat from internal sources.
So we have to induce it.
We have to induce it. We have to heat, thermal radiation, electrical supply, whatever we can do that. So the process will take heat or enthalpy. So that is known as endothermic process. And the fuels which are being oxidized or whatever, we are using the fuels or are the process or the reactions which create heat and gives heat and light and whatever. So these all are examples of exothermic reactions, like burning of CNG, petrol, kerosene oil. These all will be the example of exothermic reactions. In this particular case, ethene or ethylene being added, it means addition of hydrogen will be there over the ethene molecule, and ethene molecule contain carbon-carbon double bond. There is a 1 sigma and 1 pi bond. Addition of H2 molecule that contain H single bond H, sigma bond, H bond will break, and here C bond C, pi bond will break, and the addition of 2 hydrogen atoms will take place. So conversion of ethene into ethane will take place. It means that we can also say that in hydrogenation of ethylene, unsaturated hydrocarbons can be converted into saturated hydrocarbons. Now, this is one form of there. So, we can look at here what is actually happening in this process. There was a molecule that contains double bond. There was a molecule that contains double bond, like that we can see that there is a double bond between carbon-carbon atoms, and addition of HCl, hydrogen chloride, is going to be there. One atom of hydrogen is adding with the one H, and another atom of chlorine is adding with the another carbon atoms. So, in this case we can say that ethene undergo the process of addition with HCl molecule, and we get the molecule of alkyl halides, or we can say that ethyl chloride molecule will be generated by this process.
Okay.
We can also take one more example that shows that addition of water molecule with alkenes. That means ethene will undergo addition of water molecule. So, what will happen? Alkene will change into alcohol. Means there will be a breaking of pi bond, and water contains H2O, that is H and OH. Hydrogen atom will join with one carbon atom, and OH group will join with another carbon atoms. So, by this process ethene will undergo the process of addition, and addition of water is there. In this case, addition of water is called hydration. Hydration means addition of water. Hydrogenation, addition of hydrogen. Addition of halogen, that is called halogenation. So, this process is under example of hydration, that is addition of water over the alkene molecules that will create alcohols. So, in detail we can also explain, or we can also understand the process of addition, how the addition process of hydrogen over the alkene take place. So, the metal or the act as a catalyst, the metal atom that act as a catalyst, adsorption of hydrogen atom will be there, adsorption of hydrogen atom will be there. Look, we can say that hydrogen atom being adsorbed over the metal surface in the first sphere of metal atom has been shown, and after that there will be a alkene that is going to approach the surface of the metal as well. And in the final we look at the addition of hydrogen will be there over the carbon-carbon double bond. Two hydrogen atoms added to the alkenes, carbon forms the same side, means from the same side the addition of two hydrogens will be there, and by this way the addition reaction becomes complete. So, the next chemical property will be there, that is called substitution reaction. Replacement of one or more hydrogen atom of an organic molecule by another form atom or group of atoms, that is called substitution reaction. Saturated hydrocarbons are fairly unreactive and are inert in the presence of most reagents. However, in the presence of sunlight, chlorine is added to the hydrocarbon in very fast reactive manner. This one is the simple case that we can say that chlorine can replace the hydrogen atom one by one. It is called a substitution reaction, because one type of atom or group of atoms takes the place of another. A number of products are usually formed with the higher homologous of alkanes. The simplest form of reaction can be shown here, that is CH4 plus Cl2 in the presence of sunlight. Substitution of one hydrogen atom will be take place by chlorine, and formation of HCl molecule will take place along with the formation of methyl chloride, that is also called chloromethane, CH3Cl.
Right. And now sir, because you took, you just spelled one word, substitution. What are substitution reactions?
Substitution reaction means exactly the atom which has been already joined where previously, and another atom will come and that will replace to another one. We can take the simple example in any kind of a team of game, like the cricket team. If the one player is not going to be perform well, then that player being replaced by another player.
Yes.
Exactly, the weaker one being replaced by a strong one. This replacement is called substitution process.
Okay.
This is called substitution.
Right. And sir, now we're left with just 2 to 3 more minutes. Is there anything else that you would like to share regarding the topic? And you can also tell our viewers what they can expect in the forthcoming session.
Yeah. So, today we have discussed about the substitution reactions, and the forthcoming session we will take some important carbon compounds. Like that we will talk about ethyl alcohol.
Okay.
That is generally called alcohol, and its properties, its consequences, what will happen if somebody is going to be consume alcohol, what will be their side effects,
Okay.
and what could be the precautionary measures, and what will be the chemical properties of alcohol. So that will be the part of the next section, and
Right.
apart from this we will take one more compound that is called acetic acid also.
Okay.
So such kind of topics will be discussed in
Right.
the class.
And sir, for this particular session, what kind of assignment would you like to give to students? What they can practice home so that when they come for the fourth session, they will come prepared?
Yeah, this one is that whatever we have discussed today, that means properties of carbon compounds up to the substitutions. So the students are required to go the revision of this process. We see the classes, and the books are also available, and do the practice of questions from the different places, like NCERT back exercise questions and model questions. And one more thing, if you want to deepest thing, then you can also solve the previous year board examination questions related with the chemical properties of carbon compounds.
Because it's a very big chapter, and
Yes,
it
yes.
carries a lot of weightage
Lot
when
of
it comes to
weightage.
examination.
Exactly. And one more thing, that also be important for the upcoming classes, like that in 11th or 12th classes. If you have the strong base, then there will be no problem in the next 11th or 12th classes. There will be a easy
Right,
test.
sir.
will be
We are looking forward to the next part also, and thank you so much, sir, for your time and contribution
you.
for this session.
Thank you very much.
I would also like to thank my Indian Sign Language interpreter, Miss Naina, for her contribution to the session. Thank you so much. It's now time for me to wrap up the session over here. But before I leave, let's take a quick look at this ongoing competition called Balpan Ki Kavita.
क्या आपको भी गीत, कविता पढ़ने, लिखने और गाने गुनगुनाने में रुचि है? तो आइए शिक्षा मंत्रालय भारत सरकार की एक अनूठी और सराहनीय पहल का हिस्सा बने तथा भारतीय भाषाओं और अंग्रेजी में लोकगीत और कविताएं भेजें। आप दिए गए लिंक पर अपनी रचनाएं अथवा किसी अन्य रचनाकार के गीत और कविताएं भेज सकते हैं। भारतीय भाषा कविता प्रतियोगिता के नियम आदि भी आपको इसी लिंक पर उपलब्ध होंगे।
We wish you all the very best for the competition, and I would also like to inform everybody out there that textbooks for grade 4 and 7 are now available on Amazon, Flipkart and NCERT website. So please go and grab your copies now before it's too late, because you have to begin preparation for the exams also. And now let's take a quick look at the schedule, what's all coming ahead. In a short while from now, you can watch our session on Urdu. Topic is right there in front of you, and simultaneously you can watch our session Manodarpan Paricharcha. We are also streaming live there. 4 to 5 p.m. is the time for our online training program that we are conducting, this week under the arena of cyber safety. And today we will be talking about legal aspects of cyber safety. It's the last day of the training session, so you can definitely participate in the assessment also. We will let you know about all the rules. And 5 p.m. is the time for our session Sahyog, where we will talk about Indian lifestyle and sustainable living. That's a very interesting topic, and this will be followed by our session of school leadership development by NCSL NEPA at 5:30 p.m. With this, it's a wrap. This is me, Harpreet Kaur, taking leave of you, but we'll join you soon. Stay tuned. Namaskar.